Hi everyone, welcome back for more Let's Play Sam and Max Hit the Road.
This is a completely unusable thingamabob.
Even though we will need to use something on it later, but we can't use it yet. And once again, we get no hints about what we need to do there. It's just more deductive reasoning.
It's a tram launch leading to the Ball of Twine restaurant, and this sign points to the Twine Museum.
There we go.
This is a completely unusable thingamabob. Take a leg, Max. Hey, look!
That's one long loose end.
Too bad we can't reach it from this side of the deck. You always need a large piece of string in games like this.
Indeed. So let's go in, shall we? Maybe we'll find a way in.
These exposed wires look like they're part of the restaurant control mechanism.
They look like overcooked pasta to me, Sam.
Either or.
It's a conveniently located pair of mounted binoculars.
No, get back there.
Fresh fish. He looks safe enough.
Yeah, looks safe enough.
It's a transparent elevator.
That's always nice. And these bending wrenches. For what purpose, I have no idea.
What you doing?
Using my telekinetic powers to bend my tools.
Why?
To help me fix the rotating mechanism on this diner.
Well, that makes sense.
Okay.
Hey, lay off the swearing. We're trying to appeal to kids.
Get bent.
Get it? Bent wrenches. Bent.
%sign ampersand $sign.
And colon semicolon too. What are you doing?
Swearing in longhand, asterisk mouth. Should I even bother asking you about Conroy Bumpus?
No.
I like him.
Have you heard anything about Bruno the Bigfoot?
Who that is Bruno the Bigfoot?
That's
Sam,
enough.
he's speaking in tongues.
Indeed he is.
What are these malformed tools good for?
Lots of things. Like scratching those hard-to-reach places. Every place is hard for me to reach. Would you like a free sample?
Sure.
Free
Let me
samples
make
are
one
good.
for you. It's all yours.
Thanks.
And that's all we need you for. But a psychic mechanic
Well, bye.
with some form of telekinesis. Let's take a look at
It's
this.
a perfectly good metric left-handed spanner that's been bent out of shape.
It's a bent wrench. Okay. Let's see if we can use these binoculars for anything.
It's a conveniently located pair of mounted binoculars.
Well, that's nice and pretty to look look at, but there's nothing worth, you know, actually seeing there. Okay, game. You've made your point. You've made your point. Oh, I have to put that down. Yeah.
I'm sure this is somehow useful, but I'll be damned if I know how.
Well, maybe, just maybe, if we were able to actually control the restaurant moving around, we could have, you know, binoculars that would actually do what we wanted. So let's grab the exposed wiring here, since it looks like a piece of the restaurant control mechanism. Shocking.
Now I can control the speed and direction of the diner via these mounted binoculars.
Indeed.
That's the most ridiculous thing I've ever heard. Maybe not.
Even though we really can't do anything with it yet, it won't let us control anything yet. But that's because we can't really focus on anything specific. We don't have nearly a good enough view. And let me tell you, the game doesn't give you very many hints here.
I'm sure this is somehow useful, but I'll be damned if I know how.
So there's one more thing we need to do. Grab this magnifying lens.
Okay, I've lodged the magnifying lens in front of the mounted binoculars.
Yes. And now that we've got all that assembled, I will be dipped if I can remember how to control it, though. Oh well, we will mess with it later. Right now there's not much point to messing with it, except to say we could. Nope, not what I wanted. I'll look it up later.
I'm sure this is somehow useful, but I'll be damned if I know how.
Yep, it will be useful later. But now, the only thing we know is we need that piece of string. Why do we need a piece of string? Who knows? But it's an adventure game and we need the string. Unfortunately, there's no way to get to the other side of this platform. We're stuck over here. And the only thing that gets over here is fish. So, we need to get in with the fish and get deposited on that side of the platform. So our next stop, World of Fish. I hope that makes sense to people. This game doesn't like to make sense. And we leave. So let's head to the world of fish.
World of Fish. Fish feed.
And of course, we're going to look around.
I hear a distant rumbling.
You should have thought of that before we left.
But we've taken care of that. But what is this? A helicopter. Comes by and picks up the fish. Slowly picks up the fish. And in case you haven't figured it out, they will this guy will more fully
What a hunk of
explain it.
filet. I'm naming it Bubbles.
Huh.
It's a big fish net. I can't pick that up.
Come on. Is there at least a couple more things we need around here?
It's Max.
No, that wasn't Max.
It's a bucket of fish.
Bucket of fish, huh?
Actually, Sam, it's a slimy bucket of fish. I wonder if this will in any way shape our thoughts on today's lunch.
And we can pick up said bucket of fish.
It's a bucket of fish.
There we go. And over here. Even though it won't let us look at the car in the fish's mouth there. Let's keep looking around.
That's a large fiberglass fish. Wretched refuse on a teeming shore.
I gotta say is the fishing must be awfully good in that spot.
What's going on here?
What's going on? I'll tell you what's going on. I'm risking pneumonia standing in this creek. That's what's going on.
God, it's Woody Allen.
You must really love fish.
Actually, I'm allergic to them.
Then why do you work here?
Because I'm more allergic to poverty.
That's a good point.
I love all your movies, especially the early funny ones.
What are you talking about?
Sorry, I must have confused you with someone else.
Me too.
What do you know about Bigfoots?
My great-aunt Lois married a Bigfoot. He used to shed all over Grandma Phyllis's upholstery.
Wow.
What's the deal with that helicopter?
That helicopter is the bane of my existence. Every time I catch enough fish to fill a net, the helicopter swoops down and carries the fish to the Ball of Twine Diner in Central Disk, Minnesota.
How sad.
I know. It's like being stuck in a Norman Mailer novel.
Have you seen Conroy Bumpus?
No, I try not to listen to country music. When I do, I usually have an uncontrollable desire to drink a lot of beer and do illegal things to farm animals. You too?
Don't move.
Okay. Now this next bit takes a pretty good leap of logic. We need to get on the other side of that diner. The only way to get on the other side of that diner is to get mixed in with these fish. But trying to interact with the net only feeds this fish one of those fish. And we can't take it.
He's not my type.
So what we have to do next is somewhat unintuitive. We have to use the big fiberglass fish Okay.
Hey, Max, come here.
When we have to use this fiberglass
Here I
fish to
come.
fit in. Only we haven't quite finished it yet.
It's still a large fiberglass
Yep,
fish.
because it is mounted to that, it's mounted to that pole. So what we need to do
I can't use these things together.
I hope you follow the logic here, folks. We need to get in that, we need to use that fish as a disguise to get in that net so we can be taken off to the diner. Only one problem. Getting in the fish doesn't get us anywhere. So we need to loosen the bolts. Even though I think a normally straight wrench would have worked very, very well.
That did the trick.
There we go. So now climbing in here.
It's kind of wobbly in here. Hey, Max, come here.
And then get Max in here with us. Just like we did a second ago.
Here I come.
And that breaks us off.
One must admire the skill with which the wily uber trout stalks its prey.
This is one of the 10 most liberating experiences of my life, Sam. Holy mackerel. I'm a trout, stupid. Holy trout. I'd always thought you were made of plaster.
Yeah, that's what you get for thinking. In with the mighty tug! He knocks himself unconscious and probably drowns.
Now what do we do, Sam?
I'm thinking. What's that noise?
It sounds like you do when you've eaten too much Thai food, Sam.
And our diabolical little plan to infiltrate the chef's side of the diner is well underway. Even though he will be very disappointed in that plaster fish. Oops. Bump. And just so ingloriously deposited there. Chef thinks he's going to need a much bigger knife. Which means we probably need to be fast about this. But before we actually get this piece
I
of
told you
twine,
I had a plan.
I think it's time to cut the video. When we return, we get the twine. See you then, folks. Later.